stop making excuses. Stop making excuses for yourself and for other people. We all know that person who says they're gonna do all these things with their life. They say, hey, I'm gonna get into shape, I'm going to start my business, I'm gonna get straight A's in school. And when the time comes, you ask them about it. You said, hey, how'd that thing go? And they say, oh, it didn't happen. You ask them, oh, what happened? They always give you an excuse. They never say, hey, it was my fault, I just didn't do what I had to do, I didn't do what I needed to do. We all know a person like that, and maybe that's you. Maybe you always constantly make excuses for yourself. You tell yourself, hey, this year is the year where I'm finally going to be consistent. This year I'm going to get into shape, I'm going to start eating healthy. And when it comes down to it, you reflect and just say, oh, I don't have enough time in my schedule. I'm just so busy with work, I'm so busy with studying school, and I still need to maintain my social life. I have to see my friends, I have to do all these things. But when it comes to your goals, you put them to the side. You shove it under the bed like it's nothing, even though it's something that you've always wanted to achieve. And I feel like excuses are what is the only thing between who you are meant to be and your goals. You always make an excuse for not pursuing your dream. You make an excuse for anything that happens in your life. Anything that you can control, you'll make something up for it. And instead of always making excuses for why your life is the way it is, or why you didn't do certain things, you should take accountability, take responsibility for not showing up for yourself, understanding that it is your fault and it's not some external thing that was out of your control. If you wanted to get healthy, if you wanted to get into shape, if you wanted to start eating clean, if you wanted to have better relationships with people in your life, then it's all up to you. There's no excuse. If you can control it, you have no excuse. Even if you cannot control it, you shouldn't have an excuse either. There may be reasons for why things happen the way it did. Maybe something got delayed in your life, but you can't excuse that. You just say, hey, I'm still pursuing it, but it's just a little bit delayed. Not, yeah, it didn't happen because something I couldn't control happened in my life. I've just been so busy with everything that's going on. You've been busy all the time in your life. It's whether you want to make time for what's important to you. So it's understanding, hey, what is really important to me? Is chasing my goals, being the person who I always wanted to be, being the person who I always knew I could be? Or do you want to stay the same? Do you want to keep making excuses for the person you are today? You know that you're meant for so much more than this, but you excuse yourself all the time. So take accountability, take responsibility for where you are now, and don't beat yourself up for where you are now. Understand that, hey, I'm here because I always make excuses. I always make excuses for myself, yet I'm not where I want to be. Excuses and your goals. The excuse is the only thing that's stopping you from your goal. If you get rid of those excuses and if you actually start putting in the work, start following your goals, start doing what you said you were going to do long after that feeling, that hype has died down, that's how you'll achieve those goals. Stop making excuses. Stop saying, oh, I'm tired. It doesn't matter if you're tired, you have to keep going. It doesn't matter if you're tired, you can't quit. If you're tired, you rest, you don't quit. So stop quitting on your goal. Stop quitting on yourself. Have that self-respect. And I feel like a lot of people will make excuses for other people. There's always going to be those people who say, yeah, I really wanted to see you, but this happened. something came up and I have to attend to it. Whether it is something that's actually important or they just made up an excuse because they don't want to see you. They're too nice to say no. You make up an excuse for them. You say, yeah, they're just super busy. Maybe they're just a little bit on the shyer side. You always make up an excuse for this person when you don't want to accept the fact that, hey, maybe they just don't like me the way that I think they do. Maybe they aren't the person who I think they are. You want to make excuses for them because you want to hold them in your life. You want to keep them there even though you know that maybe this isn't the best thing for me. Maybe this isn't the best thing for them. You want to hold on to that person. Stop making excuses for another person. If they wanted to, then they would. And I believe that with all of my heart. If somebody wanted to do something, then they would. And yeah, I understand that there's certain things that could be going on in a person's life that maybe they wanted to, but they just don't know how. They don't know how to show up for you. They don't know how to show up for themselves. And that's when you can talk to them. But stop making excuses for people in your life. Stop making excuses for yourself. The excuse is the only thing that is stopping you from anything that you want to achieve. Stop saying but this happened. You're right, but what if this happened? You have to admit that, okay, this is the way that it is. Stop making an excuse for yourself. Stop making an excuse for other people. Stop saying but I was busy, but I had to go do this, but I'm tired. Stop making excuses for you and the people around you. Take things as they are. Accept things the way that they are. Some things will never change. Whether you like it or not, you have to accept it. You have to accept it with peace. Stop trying to control everything. Stop trying to change things that should not be changed. Some things are the way they are and you might not like it, but that's how it is. And that's what you need to accept. You may not like it, but that's how it is. Life will throw things at you that you may not want. Life will put you through situations that you can't control. And you can't excuse yourself. You can't excuse the other people for not showing up for you, not showing up for yourself because of what life throws at you. Life is not always going to be easy. Life is not always going to go the way that you want it to. Stop making excuses and just get through it. Accept it for the way it is and deal with it. Stop feeling bad for yourself. Nobody's gonna come and save you. Nobody's going to help you up. It's you. You have to accept it for the way it is and stop blaming other people. Stop blaming external things. Start taking accountability for whatever happens to you in your life. Stop making those excuses for yourself and put in the work. Go the extra mile. Stop saying but. Stop making excuses. So I hope everyone's doing well. I'll see you on the next one.